Hi guys, it's Lydia with Baker Autos and Trailers Camper Super Center in Beloit again, and we are going to finish doing the exterior walk around on a 2870 Passport. It's a rear living 2021 model and it's a pretty sweet layout, so we'll go over some of the outside for you. The Passport on this one has a cable driven slide. So you'll see here on the sides, if you go around this way, this is actually what runs your slide motor. So it's really nice and easy to use. We have really good luck with them. On the inside, that main motor is behind the trim. So if for any reason you lose power, whatever, that way you can actually take that top trim piece, you can put an attachment on a drill and actually manually bring those slides in and out. So it's just really easy to work on if you ever have an issue. Luckily, most people don't have an issue, so they don't have to worry about it, but it's there if you need it. Over here around the back, most people will store their sewer hose in the bumper if you want to. Other people will get a bucket or something like that to keep it in. Your plug-in, you're going to have your own cord. It's going to plug in there. It's a 50 amp plug. The roofs for Passport are now fully walk-on, so that's huge. Really, any other ultralights have a full walk-on roof, so that's big this year. And it's a really nice bonus to get up there and to clean off the roof and everything that way. So if we come over this way, this is just the vent behind your refrigerator, so just make sure everything looks good, it drains out of there and everything that way. This is the exhaust for your heater. So if you do get a cover for this to keep the mud daubers out, that's probably a good idea, but it might have enough back pressure there, so if your heater doesn't work, make sure it's not your cover on there that's causing a problem. Here you can see a black tank and gray tank handle. So if you go down here, you can see the tanks. So this is your black, that's your sewer water, there's your gray, that's your cleaner sewer water. So you'll dump the toilet first, that'll all come out. When you leave that out, after that's empty, pull the gray and that'll wash that through. Those two little lines right there, a red and a blue, those are your low point drain lines. So those drain your drain lines. So if you're not going to be using your camper for a while to keep it from getting stinky or before you winterize, you're going to want to drain those. And then if you go back here, this camper actually has a second gray tank. So this has a second connection. This is going to be the drain just for your kitchen sink. So you have double the gray water capacity in this. This is the water heater. So your water heater is all auto light from the inside. So you're gonna turn it on the switches inside. You just have a purge valve and things that way. And then down here, when you want to drain your water heater, you're gonna take out that plug and it drains right here. So when you go to winterize, that's where you drain your water heater. And then inside of the camper on the other side of this, if you wanna get to the back side of the water heater, you can get through that way, or possibly right here, you actually have an access panel. So you can take those screws out and get right back there. Most of the time your water pump's right back there too. This little thing here is if you want to mount a satellite on your roof. It's a direct connection. There's your cable and satellite plugins. You do have electric stabilizers here, so you can move them up and down over here. So you still need to level with your wheels and tires. So front to back, you're going to level with your power tongue jack. Left to right on the low side, you're going to level with your wheels and tires. After your level, you're going to bring down those stabilizers. I would always try to block them up pretty good. It just keeps it a little bit more stable and not as much pressure on those legs. It's just gonna hold it a little tighter. And then also, when they come down, they're not gonna come down even. They're gonna come down kind of like this. When one hits pressure, the other one will come down. So you'll see that, nothing to worry about. That's the way it's supposed to be, okay? If they come down far enough and all of a sudden the motor kicks, that's a safety on it, so you don't have to burn up the motor, but that's also probably as tight as you want it to. Over here is your fresh water connection here. Let me take off my sunglasses. So this is actually your fresh water connection if you are hooked to city water. So this is not going to fill your freshwater tank. This is if you have a hydrant. So either get a regulator, adjust the hydrant pressure at the hydrant, and the water goes in there and it will not fill your tank. This, if you take this off, you'll actually fill a freshwater tank, and then inside you'll use the water pump to pump out of the freshwater tank. This guy right here, I'm going to try to get a marker for you, but this is a black tank flush. So you don't want to accidentally put your fresh water in here, okay? That will actually go through and wash out your black tank. So if you put water in there and your black tank handle isn't open, it's going to cause you a big problem, okay? A big, dirty, messy problem. So make sure and note, this is not your city water connection. It is right down here. We'll try to get some, mark that on the label here. You have an unscrew here. You can run your cords up that way. You do have a shower quick connect there with the hot and cold, so everything's right there, which is nice now. There's your shower wand, your sprayer end. Over here, we do have 2 batteries on here for you. You actually have a battery shutoff on here. So if you aren't going to be plugged in going down the road or plugged in at your house, go ahead and shut off that battery. It's just going to keep them from draining as quickly. If you ever have a problem with your power tongue jack and it kicks the fuse, you're going to want to chase that wire and find the inline fuse back here. You may have to replace that if you try to overexert it or anything like that. That's one of them there. And so just know that. But also, if you can't mess with that, or if you don't want to mess with that, you can take off these side plugs and you can get, there's an attachment in here, you can manually crank this jack up and down. So I would always just make sure to try to keep a bucket underneath it, and then you don't have to worry about it going out too far, extending too far. Here's your propane bottles. They are both full. So when you do turn on the propane, you're going to want to select which side you want it to run off first. So you're going to point it at this one, and then we're going to slowly open this, okay? So you can see the propane go through. So you don't want to open that really fast because there's a sensor on it. If you open it really quick, it could sense that there's actually a leak. So just make sure and open it slowly, okay? So if you only open one of them, and when this runs out, it's not going to work. If you want to open both, you can, and it will automatically switch when this one runs out. The only thing is with that, you don't know when you're going to run out then. So if you just open the one, you know you run out, switch over to this one, go get this one filled, okay? This just sits right on top. If you get an equalizer, it's going to hook onto the frame here. Let's see if there's much else. This is your overhead pass-through, or not your overhead, your front pass-through. Another TV hookup if you want to have a TV outside. This is your cord. There's your override for your jacks, and then your spare tires in the back. On your stairs, make sure the door is all the way open. You're going to bring your stairs up like this. You're going to shake them out because they're always really dirty. And then you're going to lock this back behind this lip, okay? So when you do bring your stairs back down, depending upon where you park, if the ground is higher here, they're going to be like this, or if it's lower like this, you want to make sure they're solid so you can make this one a little longer. But then you also want to make sure this door shuts well, okay? So this door shuts and opens really good. So if this was higher, it's not going to. So you need to make sure and adjust your legs here up and down. So you can see this one's got a little pincher. So you just put that in, make these legs shorter or longer, okay? So almost everywhere you go, you're gonna have to adjust those legs how you want them. So they just go in like that. They're a little dirty, but totally worth it. And then the door shuts here. And then I usually run it over here. You do have 2 of the power awnings, so the switches are in there. Just don't leave them out in too much wind or rain. They can't handle it. The first trip, your first couple trips you take, your passport is probably going to be dirty. A lot of sawdust is going to be shaking loose, things like that, stuff that way. So don't be surprised if you're not cleaning for a couple months. But like I said, things may happen, but it's all about how you enjoy it. Take your time with it. If you need anything at all, let us know. We're happy to help you out and help you to enjoy your camping experience. So Lydia again with Becker Autos and Trailers. Thanks for watching.